ever say, stop playing with your phone, Anselm? Do they ever say, so-and-so, Justin Bieber? I mean, I don't know anything about popular culture. But any of these other, Miley Cyrus is she's trying to be black by twerking. Does somebody ever say anything like that? Are the actresses trying to be black when they get injections in their lip? I mean, come on. I don't know what to say about this article. Everyone has heard this. Everyone has said this. Yes, it is a so-called dirty secret. I don't know how dark it is. But it is an issue. But people do take on the belief that they're oppressor. When the oppressor tells them that they're stupid, then they believe that because the oppressor must be right because I'm in a subordinate position. So I might as well go ahead and accept.
What about this other article? 7 things I can do that my black son can't. What do you think about that one?
What do I think about it? I don't know. What do you think about it, Anselm?
I mean,
I'm gonna just throw it back at you.
I mean, I think the guy. It's a writer. This is in Yahoo.com.
And it's many places. Yeah.
The writer with the son. The name of the guy is Calvin Hennick. And he has he's in a biracial relationship, and his son is black. And he was just saying 7 things he can do that his black son can't. And I think more articles like these or more open discussions. And
what makes this article so much more credible than any other article? To you,
is that
because it's written by a white guy?
Well, no. It doesn't make it more credible than any other article. It's just that this is one that was just late in the news. That's why. Because
people will look at that because it's written just like you and your guy Tim Wise. I mean, and not to say there's something wrong with Tim Wise, but people, and Tim Wise himself has admitted this, that people will listen to him talk about white privilege because he's white. And will trust that as a source before the black man who can come out and say, listen, I'm having a hard time. People are following me. When I get in the elevator, this happens or that happens. So, I mean, I sort of, it's kind of cute. He's married to a Haitian. My son is light now. I hope he doesn't get darker because this, that, and that is going to happen to him. Which, again, takes me back to this whole idea of colorism and that people have this issue with how light or how dark they are. I mean, it's just...
But let me ask a question, Margie. Let me ask a question. That's society, right? And sometimes...
all over the world, as we said.
In order to bring a subject to the fore, right, it has more street cred, as Barkley says.
See, you got to break it down.
Yeah, you got.
See, I'm cold switching now.
Yeah, you got to break it down for them. It has more street cred if it's brought by a biracial couple, and it so happened.
Well, why is that?
But let me finish.
It has street cred for whom?
Street cred for many people
who are white,
both white
and
black. That here is this white guy telling the truth. However, if it's a black guy, right, saying something with regarding to white privilege, then people are going to say, "Oh man, he's just blowing
complaining
smoke.
again.
He's complaining again."
Sorry, Negro.
Here you go again,
there
man.
There you go.
Stop complaining.
You
know, it's like they said. You know, it's seeing people of color. Most of them have.
So we need someone white to voice our problem for us.
No, we don't.
For it to be credible. That's what you're saying.
No, we don't. We don't. But it will help in the process. And most, they say in the minority community, I'm not making this up, okay? Before I say I'm making this up.
You are making it up?
Yeah, many of us have a BAC degree. All of us have one degree, a BAC degree. BAC degree. You know, a bachelor's is a BS of science, BS, Bachelor of Arts, you know. But I call it a BAC degree.
What's that?
It's called Blame and Complain.
Did you just make this up?
I did.
Okay.
All right.
That's all I could say.
Blame and complain.
Uh-huh.
So in the days after Michael Brown's shooting, this guy I wrote an essay titled, I Hope My Son Stays White, detailing my fears about what might happen to my biracial 3-year-old son if he grows up to have dark skin. The upshot, America, to his shame, is still a place where black males are feared, and I don't want that fear to turn itself on my son in a way that leads to his arrest or death. I published a piece on ebony.com, and the reaction from black readers ranged from sad but true to allegations that I myself was engaging in the very racism and colorism that I was decrying. But buried among those was a comment from a white reader who accused me of sucking up the black folks.
You sucker.
And then went on to list the supposed advantages of being black in America.
The advantages, he said?
Yeah, being black. This guy.
The disadvantages or the advantages?
The advantages.
Okay.
But buried among those was a comment from a white reader who accused me of sucking up the black folks. And then went on to list the supposed advantages of being black in America.
What are they?
No, he didn't. He didn't.
T, can you think of some advantages of being black in America?
Apparently, just a minute. Apparently, according to this reader,
Uh-huh.
my son will have an unearned fast track to a career as an air traffic controller. Oh my God! You know,
That's funny. Keep going.
Yeah, I can't help but think if the essay had been published in an outlet with a larger white readership, many more comments would have chimed in to deny the continued existence of racism. In my experience, white people and straight people and male people and Christian people, all groups of which I'm a member, tend to dismiss the notion that we are privileged. Tim Wise. Can someone say Tim Wise?
Keep going, Anselm. I mean, like, that wasn't really that deep, but go ahead.
It is an uncomfortable thing to acknowledge that you are the recipient of unfair benefits, especially when those benefits are often nearly invisible to those who receive them. Okay.
Is that the end?
No, it's not the end.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Because you're like, I mean, I've yet to hear anything that deep yet. Go ahead.
When you're a parent, those privileges stop being invisible. It is reason why male congressmen with daughters are more likely to support women issues. It's the reason why Ohio Senator Rob Portman suddenly declared his support for same-sex marriage after his son came out as gay. And it's the reason why everywhere I look, I see hassles that my son would have to face that I don't. Here's a partial list of things I can take for granted, which were likely to be problematic for my son. Number one, and this is the biggest one, can walk through a store without being followed. Take one high-profile instance. Macy's and the city of New York City recently settled with actor Robert Brown, who was handcuffed, humiliated, and accused of committing credit card fraud after buying an expensive watch at the store. I never have to worry about this happening to me. Second, I can succeed without being attributed to my race. When my wife, who is black, received an acceptance letter from Boston College, a peer told her she was gotten in due to affirmative action, effectively ruined the experience of receiving the letter. When I succeed, people assume I earned it. I learned about.
I don't make that assumption.
No. He's saying that.
Yes, I know, but I don't make that assumption about every person I see who's white who succeeded. I don't make it.
No,
the
he said
assumption
when
that they
he
did it on
succeed,
their own.
He assumed. People assume that he earned it.
I know, but I don't make that assumption.
You don't assume that they earn it?
No.
Okay. All right. You assume that they got there because they're white.
No, I don't. But after a while, and I see your stuff, I know sometimes that's how you got there.
Okay. I learned about my ancestors' history in high school. I can tell you about Louis X. This is 1016 XIV. I can tell you.
14th.
14. Excuse me. IV is 4. Thank you for correcting me.
Anytime.
Socrates, the Magna Carta. But I also wonder when we finally learn about African history, the pharaohs and the pyramids. The subject never came up. I can lose my temper in traffic. Once an acquaintance who got into a confrontation while driving told me how scared she was the other driver, describing him as a big black guy. When I get heated, No one attributes to my race. Attributes it to my race. I can loiter in wealthy neighborhoods. No one ever called the cops on me to report a suspicious person. My wife can't say the same. I can complain about racism. When I point out that black people are incarcerated at alarming rates, or largely forced to send their children to underperforming school, or face systematic discrimination when searching for a job and housing, no one accuses me of playing the race card. I can count on being met on my own terms. If I've been...
This is annoying me right now. What's the time check? You know why? I'm going to tell you. I mean, this is all fine and dandy, and it's great for this revelation for those of us who do not know.
But you missed the point, though.
I'm not missing the point.
Yes, you are missing the point. You're really missing the point here.
I'm not. It's just a tired story. It's just tired, Anselm.
Okay.
Well, I mean, but no, keep going. I'm gonna tell you why it's tired. No.
I'm telling you, man.
Okay.
Do
people follow you around Macy's?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're from Trinidad.
I go into the store.
And you're from Trinidad.
They follow me around. Yes, they do. They do. And most people think if I'm in a position, it somehow have to be affirmative action. I could relate to many of things what he's saying. I can count on being met on my own terms. If I'm being treated poorly, I don't stop and think about what it's due to my race. But unless we somehow make a giant leap forward, my son always have to wonder. True.
That's true. White people don't understand that.
Recently, I became a father for the second time. My daughter, only 3 months old, will grow up to face many of the same challenges as my son. On top of the extra ones that come with being a woman, the struggle for equal pay, the catcalling, the constant threat of sexual assault. I don't want to give my children a complex about all of this, but I can't wish these problems away either. I can't eliminate all the unfair hurdles that exist in the world. I can only do my best to raise my kids, whoever jump over them. Listen, I got to tell you the truth, that 99% of it coming from this guy, it's the facts. It's facts. You know, it's funny. It's funny.
Well, I mean...
It's funny.
Funny, peculiar.
Many people will tell you that when a black person is stopped, whenever I'm stopped, if I'm ever pulled over, for whatever reason it is, right? I got to make sure my hands are in a place where the cops can see it. You ask any person of color that...
Any male, you mean?
Yeah, male.
Any male.
This has to do with male, yeah.
Okay, because you say any person of color. And I'm
male. Yeah, male. Okay. That's why he's talking about his male son.
Okay, go ahead.
Right?
You ask any black male what?
They will tell you that when I'm pulled over, I make sure and don't try to make, especially if you're an executive, you don't try to make any unsavory moves that may be threatening. When the police comes over, you have to address him very nicely. Sir, what did I do wrong, sir? How can I help you, sir?
You know what? Okay. This is one of those conversations that just like, that just gets to me. It really does.
I can go and loiter in wealthy neighborhoods.
Well, hopefully you won't be loitering, and you're loitering in one right now.
Let me give you an example.
You're loitering in a wealthy neighborhood right now.
Go up to Wyoming Avenue, right? Just go up to Wyoming Avenue, and don't walk on the left side. Walk on the right side of the street, because there's no pavement. In certain places, there's no pavement on the right side of the street.
Okay.
All right, and just stand there for like 5 minutes. Let's do a study. You and I do a study. Let's take a person of color, have them stand up there for 10 minutes. See what happens.
Is this a male or female?
Male.
Okay.
And then let's take
because if I was standing outside,
no.
Somebody would ask me if I was okay and do I need some help.
Right. Male.
So, I mean,
if it's a male, what are you gonna do? Call the police. They're gonna call the police. As a matter of fact, in this community here, right here, if they see a male standing out front, in front of the church here at any time, I guarantee they call the police.
A black male.
A black male, yeah, they call the police. You see, you want to deny these things and say, oh,